Vinodji, welcome to this series called Shastrarth, where we discuss knowledge sutras given by Gurudev. And today the sutra that we've chosen is number 183, and we are just reading an excerpt, the last paragraph from that. The topic is uncertainty, and it's reading the last paragraph.
Yeah, it's difficult for me to interpret the words of His Holiness Puja Sri Ravi Shankar ji from the book Sincere, an intimate note to the sincere seeker of knowledge sutras. So I'll make an attempt to interpret it.
Happy to join you in this attempt, Vinodji. So it goes, in knowledge you can be enthusiastic in uncertainty. Often people who are uncertain don't act. They simply sit and wait. Acting in uncertainty makes life a game, a challenge. Being in uncertainty is letting go. Certainty about the relative world creates dullness. Uncertainty about the self creates fear. Uncertainty about matter brings certainty about consciousness. Do you have anything to say, Vinodji?
Well, I would not choose to interpret or I'll just make an attempt to interpret. Here the key word is how to get rid of fear, how to get rid of dullness. So human beings have these two qualities, dullness and fear, and we need a method to come out of dullness and come out of fear. Who does not want to come out of dullness? Who does not want to come out of fear? And can you claim that you have no dullness in you, or that your dullness has sometimes was overwhelming and you became dysfunctional of a work to do because of your dullness? And can you claim that you are totally devoid of fear? You are not totally devoid of fear. Yeah. Therefore, there is a cause for you to come to this this specific rendering from Sri Ravi Shankar Ji's Holiness Puja Gurudev. Well, it begins as you have just read out. In knowledge, you can be enthusiastic in uncertainty. So here there is a word called enthusiasm. So enthusiasm and energy to drive out of town, to go to an airport, and en route there is a traffic jam, and you are almost delayed to the airport, and if the flight takes off without you, you will miss out an opportunity for a holiday. Now, can you retain your energy and enthusiasm when you are in a traffic jam? Your movement on the road, your plan was almost looking certain to you, but the uncertainty has hit you in the form of traffic jam.
Yeah.
Now, here the line is, in knowledge, you can be enthusiastic in uncertainty. So, there are three parts to this line. In knowledge, which is wisdom. Second part is enthusiasm and energy. And third part is uncertainty. So, in certainty, you are full of enthusiasm and energy and a thrill as you drive towards the airport, because you know certainly you will get the flight and certainly you will enjoy a holiday. But now uncertainty has hit you in the form of a traffic jam. How do you circumvent it?
Therefore, knowledge.
Therefore, the wisdom. Now, here the method is elaborated. So, here the solution is not to allow the traffic jam to enter into your energy and enthusiasm. Keep the traffic jam where it belongs and let your energy and enthusiasm
remain unaffected
from the traffic jam.
Yeah.
So, energy and enthusiasm, if that has to become certain, then you have to agree that your plan of going to the airport has an element of uncertainty in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If your faith is in the certainty of your plan, then you will be hit hard, and this uncertain traffic jam will enter into your enthusiasm and energy.
Right. Very insightful, Vinodji. Yeah.
And the next line is, often people who are uncertain do not act. They simply sit and wait. So you must have seen many fence sitters. To be able to get the drive and the urge to act, they need to know everything in advance. That means they need a more semblance of certainty before they choose to enter into activity and engagement and participation. Devoid of total understanding and certainty of an event or situation, devoid of total understanding, they become fence-sitters because they cannot participate with uncertainty. Now, that is not a way of getting out of dullness and fear, because if you are totally endowed with only dullness and fear, then you cannot act and engage into your participation when there is uncertainty. So faith compels you to move. Faith compels you to be open to risks. Faith compels you to evolve into uncertainty. And evolution into uncertainty is the way to get out of dullness and fear. So the line here says, often people who are uncertain do not act, they simply sit and wait. Acting in uncertainty makes life a game, a challenge. So even though you are knowledgeable that you are facing uncertainty, then what is the source of your courage and your valor and your braveness to still act towards uncertainty? Obviously, now the World Cup football is happening in the world, and it's uncertain who is going to win or who is going to lose. Some teams have left the ground after playing with 5 goals not in their favor. That was not thought about. They did not want that to happen. But uncertainty was there, but they chose to play. They chose to play because they knew it is a game and there is a challenge. So they chose to play. Right. They chose to take the risks, be adventurous into the game. Therefore, the word here, acting in uncertainty makes life a game and a challenge. Being in uncertainty is letting go.
Yeah.
If you do not know how to let go, then you will be stifled. There will be suffocation.
Frustration.
Because the framework of certainty means you have total ownership, you have an identity, you have a control, you have a dominance, and you have a deliberate plan. This gives you a semblance or an hallucination of certainty.
Yeah.
And coming out of your severe grip and control over a situation, coming out of it is called letting go. And now that you move to uncertainty, now your ability to move to the uncertainty and yet choose to involve, yet choose to get immersed, yet choose to get embedded into the situation and event in front of you, even though there's uncertainty, elevates you. It's evolution. And that makes it a challenge and yet a gain.
So is it about 100% participation in spite of, what's going to be the result?
It's about being wholehearted in your activity, the courage to get immersed and the ability to get involved, even though there is a looming uncertainty of the result, of the consequence. It's a looming uncertainty. And what you are considering it as certain after your severe analysis and assessment could also have some uncertainty which is not visible to you at that time. That is why many companies are not doing well, even though their plan looked very good in the beginning. Many startups has to shut down, even though every understood element of business is incorporated into the blueprint. Yet it is just not being feasible and practical, because there was an element of uncertainty. Now, opening up to uncertainty is evolution. And ability to participate, even though there is an uncertainty, can be done only with people who have joy and happiness. Because the search to dive in, devoid of your fixation on the result and consequences, is energy and enthusiasm. Here, what you have to think is your severe fixation on your thought of what you deserve and what you have earned. If you have a severe fixation on your investment and therefore you deserve and that you have earned, then you cannot move into uncertainty because you are bound by expectation of the result and consequence. So if you continuously know that you cannot earn everything that you get and you cannot deserve everything that you get because you get a lot of things just by gifts. And gift is uncertain. There is no certainty linked to gifts. So we live in a world which is gifted to us. We live in a world which is dominated by uncertainty. we are endowed with inner enthusiasm and energy. But when you incorporate the potential for a traffic jam en route and do not allow it to enter into your energy and enthusiasm, that is called letting go. And then the next line is about how to get rid of dullness and fear.
Vinodji, connecting the previous point, one question I have, see, it is a human tendency to be cautious when uncertainty is there. So, if it is there in the tendency, isn't it natural?
Yeah, but caution should not become a grave. Cautious one must be because you are endowed with a little bit of caution. But caution should not cement under it your valor, your innovation ability, and your braveness and your courage. So your courage, braveness and your valor must always be on top of a little element of caution underneath it.
So when you plan something, we should expect the uncertain things that may happen.
Well, either you can be so intelligent that you can you can come out of intellectual fatigue and then start going more into its components, decipher more components, more factors to bits and pieces so that you can rectify everything and bring it into your domain of certainty. But then there is always a potential for uncertainty. So we live in a world of certainty as an assumption, as a hallucination, but there is always a potential for uncertainty.
But actually it's a world of uncertainty in that sense.
No, in our daily living, like we are having a program now, there is an assumption of certainty that the current is working, the electricity is on, and that my breakfast is waiting for me. These are my assumption of certainty. But then I may take a hit on that too. So that is incorporated into that uncertainty that I may get a hit or whether may not be my favorite breakfast in front of me later. For that I have to discount my fixation on my that I have earned or that I deserve. Then I am open to evolution of any breakfast that you will give me. And then that is an excitement for me to indulge and immerse into having the breakfast though not knowing what's in the breakfast for me today. So this is an assumption, hallucination that the breakfast is available. But then inside that I must incorporate the potential of it being disrupted. That it just may not happen that way. I may get hit. That breakfast may not be served. If in that case, when I'm hit, then will I go through a flip in my brain? And will the flip go into a drowning? And will the drowning get crystallized? And then I start seeing everything as opposing me. Everything is adversary.
Yeah, conspiracy.
Maybe it's a conspiracy because then that flip and the drown has become crystallized. Because I have not incorporated the potential uncertainty in events and situation, circumstances, environment. Everything is endowed with uncertainty, but it's not only the uncertainty that is driving it. There's an assumption, hallucination of certainty too. So this paragraph is very balanced.
Right.
So does it mean that we should thrive on uncertainty or certainty?
Plan as if everything is certain, but be open to absolute uncertainty and rely on faith.
Well, I will not use the word rely. I will use the word incorporate the potential for uncertainty when you make a deliberate plan. And have a backup plan that if in case you are hit through uncertainty, then what would be your plan B or plan C or plan D? And if you have a really good IQ and if you are free from intellectual fatigue, then you will have more number of plans in hand. And then if at all now, if the uncertainty is so overwhelming that it disrupts all your plans, then you have to know evolution and learning and openness to the possibility of now having to be witty, having to be a little humorous and discover things on your toes. Be innovative and move on. We cannot erase the potential for uncertainty.
So long as you are making plans, plan A, plan B or plan C or D, you are not really hit by uncertainty because you are still going according to a plan. It is
Correct.
only when all your plans fail that you are face to face with uncertainty.
Yeah, so that what you're talking is considered in the frame of certainty. What you're speaking is considered as fatalism or defeatism. But then sometimes you have to experience a little bit of vulnerability and helplessness. And because only when you're severely vulnerable and helpless will you really be open to learning. So the objective of you arriving at helplessness and vulnerability is to be able to be open to learning. So nature has incorporated a method to hit you so hard that none of your plan will work, so that you experience a little vulnerability and helplessness, thereby bringing out of you a great character of humility, and then potential for further learning. So uncertainty has a purpose. It wants you to learn more and it wants you to arrive at humility. And in humility and your drive to learn more, you do discover a way out of dullness and out of fear, because uncertainty is there in front of you to kickstart your learning. So today I would decide to kickstart further learning and go a little more into your, if at all you think you are knowledgeable, be a little humble about it.
I know but don't say. Say I don't know, basically. Remain at I don't know. Even if you know, whatever you know, keep a room for.
No, I will not be equipped to introduce more philosophy into this. But currently the status is that we should be involved as a play. We can get immersed wholeheartedly. We can choose to participate in the events, and yet always know that if you are hit by uncertainty, do not get a flip of your brain. You continue with your enthusiasm and energy.
Right. Thank you so much, Vinodji. Although we just read
it was
a paragraph.
Excellent to be here in your program, and I look forward to another appearance.
Definitely, we would love to have you again, Vinodji.
Thank you very much to everybody.
Thank you.